So right now we are going to see the actual chickens. I think that is Pastor Chisha's best interest to see how his generation of chickens have evolved to places he never ever imagined. So here there are strict protocols. Please make sure you step if you are coming with us. You have to step into this very important place. Thou shalt not contaminate chickens. So Bishop Chisha, here we are.
Yeah. How many are these? There'll be 5 tables, right?
5 seconds.
Five something?
Then the 640.
Okay.
Then zina fapas lu kam sonda.
Okay.
Then zina kufuzina fapas permanent zo nyamu koti bwede.
Okay.
Ta dijani chani jani to kanti bwede. Seni kwa kani permanent na bwede fuzina fapas 8 tipo na siku. So kuchoka mani zina bwede kufika lero pani kamba pa. Zapana 72 kuku zafaka.
72?
72.
Okay. Out of 600?
Izi nkuku nga zambo dwala. First maonikana togolo kumbuwe matufi. Number 1. Number 2, zima mveka kukosomola. Number 3,
Close the door.
Number 3, zima nika kuzimba menso. Number 4, zima peziko timendo ya zizira. So ndiye problem ya mene mapezi kako kunkani yangu kuizi. But mene chima chitama ninga ataki ni kifua then na diarrhea.
And the feed mpanga, you're making one feed?
Namba kusipangira teka ya mene lipa tunasipangira teka.
Okay.
Wana tipasa jabe ma section.
Okay.
Nitapata hii komputani.
There's one paper msonda wansima formulas? Okay. All right. Yeah, no, this is a very good project. Yeah, and they are how old now? 3 months, 4 months?
Zina 3 months number 4 months.
Okay.
Number 4.
So we are looking at 2 more months and they start to lay eggs. Quite a very big population of chickens and the number of eggs that will be coming out from here. It's an encouraging venture, yes. It's an encouraging venture.
Okay, so maybe just give our sister some guidance in terms of what he has shared.
Okay.
What are some of the steps you think they can take to mitigate the disease pressure?
Yeah, I think the first thing is the hygiene is very important. Because I've seen the biosecurity there is very good. And the water is very clean there, so meaning it's fresh. The medication is up to date, and so as the biosecurity is looked at, we're also looking at the droppings. The accumulation of the droppings in the poultry has to be looked at. These things have to be changed frequently. How long did you change this?
In 1 week.
1 week? Okay. But the previous one, how long was it?
Okay. So mkamba kupinda mura or kuchosha mpasa Chisha, be clear what should be done. Maybe it's important.
The one which was here, the previous one, how long did it stay before you removed it? Yes, for how long?
1 month.
1 month.
Okay.
Okay. It was the grassy? Okay. All right. So maybe you need to. 1 month is too long. Yes, 1 month is too long because the accumulation of the droppings. This is grass. It is not like it's not like wood shavings. Yeah, because those they absorb quite a lot of moisture. But this is grass, and it's not as it doesn't got that capacity to absorb a lot. So don't allow it to stay for too long. 1 month, I think, is too long. Maybe if you can push it 2 weeks, if you can manage every week, since you have abundance of grass, better. But 2 weeks is okay. Yeah, because those problems we are talking about, the droppings It is coming from eating contaminated the dropping. Sometimes when they are picking the feed, may eat a dropping, and once the diarrhea starts from one, it can spread to the others. Yeah, in a very short time. In a very short time. So change the manure frequently. 2 weeks. Yeah. Now we are going to the rain season. There will be a shortage of grass. You get as much as you can, which can push you into the next year as we go there. Yeah, so that you can manage to have that program. I think that's what I can say about the mulching. Then the medication. Medication also has to be followed. Yeah, this Samson, the one who sold you the chickens, he has a guide of the stages of how this must be followed. So follow the medication strictly. Don't be lazy. Maybe you say, no, we'll come and do it the other day, but do it according to the days that the vaccinations are done. And when there are symptoms of weaknesses and all that, so you need to follow it up as well. Even just one chicken, it's an emergency just when you just observe the sun on one chicken. Yes.
Okay. So generally, how are they looking, Pastor Chisha? When you look at the chickens now,
they are looking healthy. Yes, they are looking very healthy, and there is a lot of air passing in the poultry house. Good ventilation. So you can see the chickens are not panicking. Because it's a bit hot, but there's enough ventilation to absorb that.
Okay, so good advice. One of the things that you did, Pastor, when you were starting your projects, the Croiler project, was when I came to your place.
Yes.
I saw that you had created cages which had upstairs, like 2-3 story.
Okay.
I know that's a bit of a complex analysis, but what did you see as advantages in those skyscraper kind of cages that you made?
Yeah, although it was for quails, but
Yeah.
so maybe a few things that were there. The advantage of the quails, you can keep quails on free range, not free range, but on the floor, and you can also keep them in the cages. The challenge that we used to have when we kept them on the floor is the droppings were accumulating quite at a fast rate. And then the quail bed likes to scratch through the manures. And those manures, when they go in the eyes, the infection goes in the eye. So we started experiencing infection problems in the eyes, which was coming from the droppings. And to control that, we had to find a way that we put them in the cages so that they are suspended. And that was what helped us.
Okay.
The other thing also is the manure that was coming out from the cages. It's a pure manure, which is a good concentration manure. And it can be used to give, you can feed the fish, because there are no wood shavings in there, which are like it's another extra contamination into the manure. So the very manure itself is already enough. It's feed to be given to the fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and
maybe
also space.
Okay.
The advantage of keeping so many on a small space. Because on a space of like 1.2 meter by 60, you can keep about 200 or 300, 200 beds. So those are the advantages of the cages.
Okay. But for the chickens, this is fine.
The chickens, this is fine. If you want to, you're talking of breeding. If you want to use the chickens for breeding, this is the best. But if you want to get the females and use them as layers, then the cages would be an advantage.
Okay.
Would be an advantage. And especially when you are expanding and you are running out of space, it is costing a lot of money to build these structures, as you can see. And if you want to maximize the usage of them, you don't want to build more, then the cages would be an advantage.
So are we able to put cages in a structure like this one?
Yes, the cages can be put here. Now, the only thing which we are looking at is you put the cages if you want to raise layers. You want eggs for meat. I mean, eggs for eating.
Okay.
They are not eggs to go into an incubator. Then the cages would be an ideal.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you want to breed the chickens, be breeding so that they are mating, this is how it should be done. They should be on the floor.
Okay.
Yes.
So there are two issues here that I think Melody would want to get from you. And that's, of course, we need to make breeding areas within this. I'm here to show you some of the things that she sent me. Okay. But if we think of, okay, the two things that I'm talking about is, it would be important for you to help us, because as looking at this, me, I can't tell which one is female and which one is male.
Yeah.
No matter how much I pray, I will not be able to get that answer, I think, from God either. Okay. So, you are an expert. You are able to identify. I know you have already seen some of the males here, even without your scientific analysis. So how can you help Mr. Matthews to identify the males and females, especially that when you are talking of breeding, you must, I guess you must control even the breeding itself in terms of male to female mating.
Okay. Yeah, when you look at the cocks, the cocks have got a bigger thing here on the top of the head. So those are the cocks. And it is not difficult to distinguish because you can already see that the comb on top is bigger. And so as they grow older than this, they also have a sound which they make, like the sound of a cock that it makes in the morning. Those are the signs. Those are basic symptoms that we can look at. The females, you can see the comb here is a very small one on top there. So those are females.
So this would be female. So if I was to follow your guidance,
yes,
would that gentleman there be a cock? This one?
This one is a cock. On
this
top
one
there, he has a big one. Then under the mouth there, the neck, those are also very big.
Oh, okay. This which looks like miefu.
The whisks, yes, the whiskers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Matthew, are you following?
Yes.
So matuona tuwamona, huyu wamena ni angana, ni boys. Okay. Huyo inango.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the females are these ones which have got a small cob on top and the whiskers.
And the whisk is so
small at underneath there. So these are.
So meaning, we can even analyze. There are quite a number of cocks here from what I'm seeing.
Yeah. The ratios depends. We are told that the ratio can be 1 to 10, and there's 1 to 8. In my personal experience, I think the ratio, I would rather have 1 to 5. Yeah, because that way, at least it will reduce on the number of eggs that are not fertile. Yeah, if the females are too many, there are too many eggs that remain after kindling which are not fertile. Okay. Yeah, and especially if we have nowhere to take those eggs, if they are being sold, it is not a problem. You can have 1 to 8, 1 to 10. But when they remain there in the poultry house, then you have no use for them. Better we reduce on the number. So at least 1 to 5 is a fair ratio to use.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that explanation is clear. But Matthew, Mwaimvela ratio, yeah? 1 to 5 if you want to maximize the fertility opportunity. If you are going to be selling eggs, 1 to 8, 1 to 10 is fine. Yeah. Meaning, the major task will be to really manage the population. Am I right? Chisha? In terms of 1 male to 5, if you want to have a high quality fertilization of eggs. Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any other advice that you would want to give?
Yeah, of course, you have one breed here, one generation of chickens, which are F2, which we have brought here from Mr. Usonda. So this bunch will grow together. You don't bring in cocks from elsewhere. You use what is already here when you are doing the pairing. The excess, of course, you can sell and start another breed. If they start to fight, mostly when you bring cocks from somewhere else, they fight and they waste time for fertility. So you avoid that, so that they will focus on the females and use that time so that the eggs are, most of them are fertile.
Okay. All right. I am not seeing any feed here. Are the chickens fasting? Wisdom. Zichita fasting koko izi sini wana feed or the series za chabe. Oh, okay. Nagaza ati maybe kai mama pempera na ati maybe nankuku makamba tisiende fasting.
Okay, so you give them how many kg? In the morning, you give them
60 kg.
60 kg in the morning.
Mazulo, 20 kg, 40 kg.
40 kg in the evening. Okay, in the afternoon. So that is 100 kg every day for 600 chickens. Okay. So it's not about having feed in the feeding traps.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like that. Once they have been given the ration, then they will eat the next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is okay.
There will be wastage of feed. Yes.
Okay.
This is okay. Otherwise, there will be wastage of feed.